June 13th, 2025. A new war breaks out in the Middle East. Iran and Israel, two bitter enemies, are now in open conflict. Missiles fly, drones scream across the skies, and the region trembles. But amidst the chaos, one question strikes fear into the heart of the global economy. Will Iran close the Strait of Hormuz? Because if it does, the world could be just days away from an economic earthquake. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow stretch of water, just 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point, but it carries the lifeblood of the modern world. Every single day, 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow corridor. That's over 18 million barrels of oil daily. From the oil fields of Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and the UAE, to the refineries of Asia, Europe, and beyond, it's not just oil. Natural gas, petrochemicals, refined fuels, all flow through this one bottleneck. And there are no real alternatives. Block the strait, and the consequences are immediate. Prices skyrocket. Markets panic. Shipping grinds to a halt, and governments start preparing for war. Iran knows the value of this choke point, and it has threatened to close it many times before. In 2011, when U.S. sanctions threatened its economy, Iran warned the world, if our oil cannot pass through Hormuz, then no one else's will. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard controls dozens of speedboats, anti-ship missiles, mines, and submarines in the Gulf, and they train specifically for this scenario. They don't need to hold it forever. Even a temporary disruption could send shockwaves through the global economy. So what would closing the strait actually look like? Imagine this. Fast boats harass tankers. Anti-ship missiles target key vessels. Submarines lurk beneath the waves. Within 24 hours, insurance companies cancel policies on tankers crossing the Gulf. Shipping halts. Oil prices surge past $150 per barrel. Gasoline prices double or even triple. Stock markets tumble. Of course, the world wouldn't just sit back. The United States has a massive naval presence in the Gulf. The Fifth Fleet, based in Bahrain, trains year-round for this scenario. Carrier strike groups, destroyers, submarines, surveillance drones. If Iran tries to close the strait, expect warships to respond within hours. A full military confrontation could erupt. Iranian bases would be bombed. Mines would be cleared. Tensions could spiral into a regional war, drawing in Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and even global superpowers like Russia and China. Some Gulf countries saw this coming years ago. They've tried to build pipelines to bypass Hormuz. The UAE, for example, constructed the Habshan-Fujairah pipeline, which runs oil directly to the Gulf of Oman. But it's not enough. Even with pipelines, the majority of Gulf oil still flows through Hormuz. There is no true replacement. So, would Iran actually do it? That's the trillion-dollar question. Closing the strait would not only hurt the world, it would hurt Iran too. It relies on Hormuz to export what little oil it can. It would face retaliation, more sanctions, and possible invasion. But in a desperate moment, as bombs fall and the regime feels cornered, it might just pull the trigger. A final act of defiance. A warning to the world.